Is this the one to rule them all? Let's find out. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. You found your way over to the Modest Audiophile channel, and yes, today we're going to talk about Heart's debut album, Dreamboat Annie. Again, if you followed this channel before, first of all, thank you. But if you followed the channel, you may realize that about 3.5 months or so ago, I did a review on the 2016 release of this album by Capitol Records. And the premise of that video was, am I spoiled? I think I answered maybe, more than likely, because at the time I was just coming off of listening to a Rhino high fidelity release of Black Sabbath's Paranoid, where the soundstage just popped, and I was listening to a couple other Rhino high fidelity records at the time and just was really accustomed to that soundstage. So when I put on the Dreamboat Annie, the 2016 version, which I've been a huge fan of at the time, you saw the 3 records beginning of the video, and I'll go through that in a second. Yeah, I've been a big fan, and after listening to that record, I thought that Dreamboat Annie deserved just a much more quote-unquote audiophile experience, and I equate that to depth in my image, you know, that 3D holographic type of experience. Anyway, by the time that video was over, yes, I did place the pre-order. I spent $60, $59.99. We'll talk more about pricing in a second. And I waited my 3 months, and lo and behold, last weekend, it arrived in the mail. And I've been listening to it ever since. So what we're going to talk about today is, I did keep the notes from the 2016 video that I did. I wanted to make sure I had an unbiased, unvarnished set of notes put aside from the previous video, so when I did compare it to the new one, it was not being swayed one way or the other. So that's the premise of this. What we'll do is talk real quick about pricing. We'll talk about condition. We will talk about soundstage and imaging. I did do a decibel level check to compare the two, but most importantly, we're going to talk about how this thing sounds. If you want to cut to the chase, I'll just say, it's awesome. Go buy it. You must go buy it if you're a fan of this album. If you want to stick around a little bit longer and find out why and some of the intricacies of the new record, stick around and we'll go through that pretty quickly as well. All right, so let's start with the overall pricing. All right, I did a lookup on Amazon today, and if you want, by the way, I'm putting this away. This is the 1976 original release of this album on the Mushroom label. It's good. It's really good. I just haven't been able to find a clean copy of this thing, and that's really why I went out and I got this. This is the Capitol Records release, the 2016 version. The price of this today on Amazon, and today is June 20th, 2025. The price of this is $27.98. And what do you get for $27.98? You get a decent package, a little flimsy, but that's okay. You get paper sleeves, and you get a record that sounds good. It was flat. It did not have any clicks or pops. It was nice. But again, from a sound perspective, I was left wanting. But if you're a casual fan and you just want to add this to your collection, this may suffice for you. However, if you think that this album deserves more, well, yes, I got the Mobile Fidelity release. And this cost me, like I stated earlier, I did a pre-order of this for $59.99, so $60. It is still that same price today on Mobile Fidelity's website. And as I was checking on the price of the 2016 version, I was surprised. I did not know that Mobile Fidelity sold their records on Amazon. Anyway, here's a screenshot. If you want to buy this on Amazon, you're going to spend a little bit more. It's going to be $78.98. Is it worth it? we'll get to that in the end. Anyway, this is a numbered edition. I think 5,000 or how much they're going to be coming out with. That's typically the case anyway, unless it's Bob Dylan and they just keep coming out and out and out. Anyway, my copy, for what it's worth, is 448. And how did this thing get from tape to lathe? Well, this is how it got there. By the way, this is twin 45 RPM records. Yeah, you got to get up a little bit more. I'll be honest though, if I had to get up after every song to listen to this, I would get up after every song. This was an analog copy of the original master tape, and it was from a 1/4 inch 15 IPS Dolby A analog copy to DSD 256 to analog console to lathe. So that's how this thing came to be. And again, overall the condition of this thing, the colors are a bit more vibrant. Some higher quality stock. You expect that for a $60 album. So again, the condition on both, good, very good. In fact, on the 2016 version, it was flat, no pops, no clicks, really cleaned up nice. Same thing with the mobile fidelity version. However, I will say didn't impact the sound quality whatsoever. On disc number 2, there was just a little bit of a wave. Just a little bit of a wave. And that was it. Again, not a big deal. All right, so let's talk about soundstage and imaging. Soundstage on the 2016 was really good. It was good. It was about 3.5 feet left or right of my speakers, and the overall height of the image got to be about 3 feet above the tweeter line, not quite reaching the ceiling. It was good. The overall sound stage for the mobile fidelity, it is quite a bit different. It is bigger. It extends 4 feet plus out to 5 feet in some cases, left or right of my speakers. The overall height goes up to the ceiling, good, almost 4 feet above my tweeters, and the bass, especially in Magic Man, just spills out and oozes all over the floor. So you have a complete wall of sound. More on that in a minute. As far as the image of the 2016 version, it's good. What it lacked, though, was presence. It lacked depth. It was just kind of a flat soundstage. And that was really where I was left wanting. The mobile fidelity has all that and then some. And again, we'll get to more of that in a few minutes. But outstanding image, outstanding 3D, holographic, laser etched soundstage with your mind's eye. It's all that and then some. All right, let's talk about the sound stack or the tone stack. What I wrote in the original notes for the 2016 version was the bass was okay. We'll get more of that, but the bass was okay. The mids were good. The treble was good, but it did lack sparkle. As far as the mobile fidelity version, it is full-bodied, it is fully balanced, excellent mids, just excellent, excellent mids. The acoustic guitars coming out of the mobile fidelity version, oh my gosh, these things are so real, so tangible, excellent. Vocals, of course. The bass is excellent. Everything that the 2016 didn't have, this has. And again, from a treble perspective, yes, you do get that air and space. The cymbals are remarkable on the mobile fidelity release. I can't say enough good things about the mobile fidelity release. As far as it being quiet, I mentioned that the 2016 version was very quiet. Yeah, it was very quiet. Was it black abyss quiet? You know what I mean? No. The noise floor on the mobile fidelity is just the way it should be for a $60 album. It is so silent. Again, you would mistake it for listening to it through your DAC as opposed to your turntable. The noise floor was amazing. All right, before we get on to the decibel level check, and again, comparing some of the songs from the 16 to the 25 version, these are some of the things that I wrote down just in general as it pertained to the 2025 mobile fidelity release. How it sounds, I put. First of all, don't make this the first record you're listening to in your session. So if you're getting ready to put some time aside, you want to listen to a couple records, make sure this is not the first one, because if it is, more than likely it's going to ruin the rest of your evening because it won't compare. All right, it's that good. It is an effortless and engaging listening experience. I mean, you just sit back and it blows you away without having to think whatsoever. It is effortless. Extremely engaging. The speakers completely disappear. Again, we talk about wall of sounds. The speakers completely disappear. It is remarkable how good this really sounds. Acoustic guitars are more real, more textured. Again, just tangible. Very, very good. Air and space, as I mentioned, holographic. Yes, you have that compared to the overall 2016 version. Stunning clarity, but with the bass. So it's not necessarily a detail. It has the details, but not at the expense of bass or mids, if that makes sense. Again, a very balanced tone stack. The clarity of this record is amazing. It put one of my most realistic records that I own now. I mean, I've only been listening to it a week. I would easily put it in my top 10, and it's rising. It's addictive. I mean, this is why we all get into this hobby, at least why I get into this hobby. This record is addictive. I get more out of it every time I listen to it, which has been about a half a dozen times now. Amazing. And most importantly, I'm hearing new stuff. And we'll talk about that as we get into the songs here. I'm hearing new stuff that I never heard in this record before. All right. Decibel level check time. So I just did the 1 decibel level check. I tried to pick a song that would have the most variance, if that makes sense, from low to high. And I did it on Magic Man, the very first song. The 2016, and by the way, so I'm listening to this on a Rotel A11 Tribute integrated amp. I've got the volume set at 68, which is about normal from what I listen to most of my records on. And obviously I'm listening to it from these Super Linton speakers behind me. So the 2016 version of Magic Man had a low end of 45 decibels, high end of 87 decibels, for an average listening of 80 decibels. Good. Mobile fidelity, again, at the exact same volume setting of 68, going from a 33 to a 45 RPM record. The low end is a 48 decibels, high end of 94 for an average of 82. So once again, real quick, 2016, 45, high end of 87 for an average of 80, and the mobile fidelity, low end of 48, high end of 94 for an average of 82. So a bit different. Mostly again on the I think you're getting a lot more high end sparkle and a lot more low end rumble. Certainly when it came to the synthesizer and the bass in that song. We're going to get to that right now. So side 1, and there's 4 sides to mobile fidelity. So side 1, Magic Man. What I wanted, and how I'm going to do this moving forward is I'll tell you what I wanted from the 2016 or what my notes said from the 2016 version, and then I'll compare it with the updated notes from this mobile fidelity, okay? So what I said from Magic Man on the 2016 was I wanted more bass, especially with that synthesizer, right, that comes at the end, and the bass should just kind of come out and ooze out all over the place. That did not happen in the 2016. I also said the 2016 lacked oomph. Technical term for you, oomph. It'll come up a few more times. All right, so that was what I wanted out of the 2016. Out of mobile fidelity, all right, full. It's got oomph. It has, the drums have more body and texture. The drum roll from left to right, right? It's, oh, you could go out and touch them. The drum kit is right there in your room, where in 2016 it wasn't. I put, it's more pronounced. All the instruments are more pronounced, a lot more presence in the room, much more depth, I put. The amps are alive on this mobile fidelity release, meaning that the guitar amps are just crackling. They're more, the presence, really. This has a lot more presence than the previous version. And the bass and synthesizer rumbles the way it should be, I put. Yeah. About 2/3 of the way through the song, maybe 3/4, right? The synthesizer comes in and it just fills out the bottom of the soundstage, and you're hearing more of it. You're hearing it last longer. You're hearing it move within the soundstage better. Again, it's effortless. Yeah, everything that the 2016 didn't have for this song, Mobile Fidelity put it in. Fantastic. Song number 2, Dreamboat Annie, Fantasy Child. The 2016, I said it needed more depth. The harmonics at the end were just okay right before you lead into the next song. It was, again, it was okay. I wanted more. Mobile Fidelity, well, they put all of that in there and then some. The waves are right there, by the way. The ocean waves were right there in your space. Acoustics were more realistic. And the harmonies were excellent. So yes, everything, again, the previous one didn't have, Mobile Fidelity has. All right, let's go on to the third song, which is Crazy on You. What I put for 2016 was needs more sparkle and depth / isolation. It needed a better image, really, and that's pervasive across the entire 2016 version. I wanted a better image, better soundstage. On the new one here, Nancy's guitar right off the bat is pronounced. That acoustic intro, you know it. It's, again, the acoustics sitting here in the room. Wonderful. It's got better isolation. It's got better punch. The dynamics are much better. On this song and every song, the dynamics are much better. It has a thick soundstage, if that makes sense. I hear more of Nancy's guitars in the Mobile Fidelity release. More tangible, more there. And that was coming out of the right side of the soundstage, by the way. More of Nancy's acoustic guitars coming out of the right-hand side of the soundstage as the song went on. Not the intro, but as the song went on. Much sweeter sound I put. Great drum rolls as well. Yeah, just a fantastic version of Crazy on You. All right, on to side 2 on the Mobile Fidelity. 45 RPM record, 4 sides. On to side 2. It starts with Soul of the Sea. I put a star next to this because I couldn't get enough of this song on the Mobile Fidelity version. What I wrote about the 2016 was, could be so much better. That's the only thing I put. It could be so much better. It's a very elaborate song. It's got all the stuff that you think would just shimmer, shine, rumble. It should have been much better. What did you get out of the 2025 Mo5? First of all, it spills out of the speakers I put. The song just starts and it spills out of the speakers. Beautiful, deep, lush. Great seagull in the back. Again, a lot more tangible, a lot more holographic. That seagull in the back. The bass drum has so much more texture, feel, without being overpowering, without being woolly or muddy. That bass drum just, you felt it coming out of the 2025 version. There's an alarm clock bell that you hear. Not unlike what you would hear on A Day in a Life by the Beatles, but you hear a bit of an alarm clock back there, and on the Mobile Fidelity, it's in space. It's recessed a little bit in the soundstage, but it's isolated and it's in space, and it's wonderful. That's addicting. That's what I mean about addicting. It was right there. It was a completely new song and experience for me as opposed to hearing it on the Capitol release. I love this song on this Mobile Fidelity release. After the lyric, no silence, right, about 3/4 of the way through the song, I just got chills. A wonderful experience this song was. Fantastic. I put the waves at the end, just fill up the room. This is a whole new song to me, and I had a whole new appreciation for this song after listening to the Mobile Fidelity release. Fantastic. All right, second song on side 2, Dreamboat Annie. On 2016, I put nice chimes, but they should be in space. They really should. Also, it's got no projection. It's recessed a bit. And the banjo is also recessed. And that's what I wrote after listening to the 2016 3.5 months ago. I wanted more. Well, on the 2025, yep, just like I wanted. Those chimes are in space, meaning close your eyes. Watch with your mind's eye. The chimes that you hear are just hanging out in space, in the room. Wonderful experience. Again, addicting. And then when I believe it's a I believe it's a banjo, comes in on the right-hand side of the soundstage. It's a little bit more forward than it was on the 2016, and again, it's a lot more realistic. The depth really allows for that realistic approach, again, that holographic type of visual cue that you get with your mind's eye when your eyes are closed. Hey everybody, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for showing up today. I appreciate it. If this is your first time here, take a look around. You might find something else that you like. And if you do like it, don't be shy. Go down there and hit like. It would help me and help the channel. For those of you that have been here before and have come back for more, well, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It would really help the channel out, and you know what? It's free, and you can always take it away later. All right, that's it for the commercial. Let's get back to the Wilson sisters, because this thing is flipping awesome. All right, so that's Dreamboat Annie. All right, let's go on to side 3. Now, side 3 would also be on the 2016 version, beginning of side 2. But for the 4-sided version, yes, beginning of side 3 starts with White Lightning and Wine. On the 2016 version, I put very good, but it needs more feel. The bass drum was not full. Again, everything was kind of just pushed back a bit in the overall soundstage. I wanted more. All right, how does this thing sound? First of all, I noticed that the left electric is way more crunchy than it just, again, the amp is alive. It's a lot more crunchy, the electric guitar. At least that's how I interpreted it. Very nice sounding. The bass has oomph, that technical term again. Outstanding image I put. And as far as Ann's vocals are right in the center, and on the Mobile Fidelity release, there's more space around her. Just a super, super image to this song, White Lightning and Wine. Thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, song 2 on side 3, Love Me Like Music, I'll Be Your Song. All right, if you watched the channel before, thank you. You'll know I'm a sucker for hand claps. I love hand claps in songs. Be it the Beatles, be it Boston, whatever. I love the hand claps. Well, this song has hand claps. And what I put from the 2016 version was the hand claps are not in space. They're just kind of smeared back there with the rest of the image. And I want to see them with my mind's eye. That's what I put from the 2016 version. All right. Moving forward with this version, you get a lot more depth. A lot more depth. The claps are in space. So not only the claps that are forward during the break of the song, but throughout the song, there's hand claps as well. And they're a little bit further back in the soundstage, but all the claps are in space. And in fact, what you could hear on the Mobile Fidelity releases, you could hear decay, the decay of the hand claps, and you did not get that from the previous version. That was exciting. That was really nice. You can feel those claps. Ann and Nancy's harmonies are just extremely lush. They're beautiful. In a definite line between the two of them. I mean, they weren't overly blended. It was perfect. Their harmonies were perfectly reproduced on this Mobile Fidelity. Much more interesting song I put. On the 2016, it's just a song with some hand claps. Moving forward on this Mobile Fidelity release, yeah, it is a much more interesting song. All right, the third song on side 3, Sing Child. 2016, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It has a nice layered approach. I said it needed more isolation. It was a bit smeared together, the overall image. The flute that Ann plays was not in space. I wanted it in space. And but I did say it had the best overall soundstage on the album. Yeah, and I did listen to it again afterwards, and I still agreed that Sing Child is the best soundstage on the 2016 album. Yeah, it was nice and wide, 3.5-ish feet. Really, really good. All right, moving on to the Mobile Fidelity version of Sing Child. First thing I put was bass. Yeah, it's got bass. Powerful song. Just jumped out at you. Really, really good. You feel it in your chest, unlike the 2016 version. It's thick and full, but yet it still has sparkle. So again, it wasn't giving anything up to accentuate For instance, if they were accentuating the bass, they weren't giving up on the high-end sparkle. If they were giving you detail in a song, they weren't sacrificing bass. Very, very balanced. I put the flute was right there too. Really great in space. It would have made Ian from Jethro Tull very proud indeed. Great reverb on the electric guitar solo in the center of the soundstage. Didn't get that on the 2016 version. Everything is in isolation. Extraordinary image I put. At this point, the soundstage is starting to wrap around you. It was, yeah, you got that feeling where that soundstage was getting bigger and bigger. Really, really good. What I also put here was, listen. Ann's vocals are renowned, right? I mean, she can hit the highs as good as anybody, if not better. Her vocals are awesome. But what I put, quote, love Ann's vocals on this, maybe the best. For me, I just loved her vocals on this song. Really outstanding portrayal, or portrayal? Really outstanding way to hear her vocals on this recording. Great stuff. Yeah, this song, I said it in the last video as well, you know, shocker, it sounds like Led Zeppelin. Well, after hearing it on this Mobile Fidelity release, I wouldn't be, this thing could have come off of Physical Graffiti and it would have fit in just fine there. Anyway, great song, Sing Child, loved it. Side 4, How Deep It Goes. 2016, I just put blah, no depth. Moving forward on this, I put image is precision, full tone stack, deep bass, sparkle with the flute and the cymbals. Much more going on in this song than I had previously heard, and it's due to the depth. Really good. And by the end of this, I wanted more. I put a star next to this as well because it's not a song that I would typically hang out on. I really enjoyed How Deep It Goes on this Mobile Fidelity release. It was a new song for me. Great stuff. And the last song on the album, Dreamboat Annie Reprise. 2016, I said, drums need to pop, no isolation or projection. That's what was missing in the 2016 version. In this version, great drums is what I put. Excellent piano on the left of the soundstage, in space. Didn't really register that on the 2016 version. Piano really jumps out nice on the Mobile Fidelity release. And then something new that I had never heard of, that I never heard before, or certainly never registered before. A new guitar coming out of the right-hand side of the soundstage in the background. Didn't hear that guitar before. That was exciting. The strings are more lush and tangible as well on this release. Fantastic, and that goes right into the acoustics. The acoustic guitar that comes out of the strings were much more realistic. It's just excellent. More body to the strings, more body to the guitar sound. Again, more realistic. And you can always hear the creaking wood, right, at the end of this album. Pretty much on, I would gather, any version. But you didn't hear that creaking wood like you hear it on this version. I opened my eyes up, I'm like, what the hell is that? It was outstanding. Just loved it. And what I put at the very end, everything the 2016 didn't have, this one has. And that's an accurate statement for the entire album. So yeah, is it worth it? $59.99, $60. $60 for the Mobile Fidelity version of Dreamboat Annie. Listen, if you, first of all, if you're a super Heart fan and you love this album, it's worth it. I think for the most important part though, if you are a soundstage and imaging person above all else, then yeah, this is worth it. I knew it would be better. I just didn't know it would be this much better. This thing is ridiculously good. Such a pleasure to listen to, even if Heart's not your favorite band. It's not my favorite band. I like them a lot. But this record, again, like I stated, I've had it for 6 days. I'd say it's in my top 10 already, and it's rising. I listened to this again last night, and I didn't, I thought some of the newness would wear off. Nope, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's worth it, absolutely. And if this thing sells out, and you got to go to Amazon and spend $78 or whatever, yeah, maybe worth it. But anyway, go direct, go to Mobile Fidelity Direct. That's where they had a copy of it. Again, I don't get anything for that. I'm just passing on the news. So that's it, everybody. Mobile Fidelity's 2025 release of Heart's debut album, Dreamboat Annie. This thing is extraordinary, really is. I thoroughly enjoy this thing and I can't wait to play it again. So do yourself a favor. It's summertime now. The kids are home from college or grammar school or high school, whatever. The kids are home. Set some time aside for you. You deserve it. Place a little order for this thing. Wait a couple days for it to come in. Give this thing a quick bath. Put it on the turntable. Sit back with your favorite beverage and bask in the absolute glow of a stunning soundstage and image. You will not be sorry. This thing will take you to another place, and by the time the Dreamboat Annie reprise comes on, you're gonna go, oh man, I'm so bummed out that this thing is over. Well, get up and flip it on and turn it on again. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've done one of these. This thing is outstanding. It will definitely hit my top 10, if not my top 5 of the year when December rolls around. Until then, take care, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I did. Until the next time, take care, everybody. Bye.